Welcome to study session 14, Personality Theory, Jung and Adler. Introduction. Carl Jung was a young psychiatrist in Zurich when he read Freud's interpretation of dreams soon after it was published in 1900. Since then, Jung and Freud became friends and Jung bought all the ideas of Freud. However, in August 1914, Jung withdrew from being a member of the International Psychoanalytic Association, broke away from Freud, and provided his theory on personality, the analytic theory. On the other hand, Alfred Adler began to develop ideas that were at variance with those of Freud. He then formed his own ideas, which came to be known as individual psychology. In this study session, you will be introduced to the differences that can be seen in theories of Freud, Jung and Adler, and those theories that have emphasized different concepts. Learning outcomes. At the end of this study, you should also be able to 1. Explain the differences that can be seen in theories of Freud, Jung and Adler. 2. Discuss those theories that have emphasized different concepts. Carl Gustav Jung, 1875 to 1961. It is ironical that Jung had to split with Freud because Freud himself had said that Jung was going to be his own successor. Jung's point of disagreement with Freud formed the cornerstone of his, that is, Jung's own theory, the Carl Gustav Jung theories. 1. There is a basic and general libido, which is a form of psychic energy. Sexual libido is only one variant of this libidinal energy. This energy comes into being during the pre-pubertal period. 2. The roots of neurosis are to be found in the child's early interactions with the parents, especially the mother. Although Freud later acknowledged this early child-parent interaction, he emphasized instincts as the cause of neurosis and their derivatives. 3. According to Jung, the unconscious mind has several layers. The uppermost layer or level is closest to the human mind. The deepest level is called the collective unconscious. This layer contains or is a storehouse of latent memory, traces inherited from one's ancestral past. A past that includes not only the racial history of humans as a separate species, but their pre-human or animal ancestry as well. The collective unconscious is the psychic residue of human evolutionary development, a residue that accumulates as a consequence of repeated experiences over many questions. The structural components of the collective unconscious are called by various names: archetypes, dominants, primordial images, imagos, mythical images, and behavioral patterns. An archetype is a universal thought form idea that contains a large element of emotion. This thought form creates images or visions that correspond in normal waking life to some aspect of the conscious situation. For example, the archetype of the mother produces an image of a mother figure that is then identified with the actual mother. The collective unconscious is manifested through dreams and symbols. The dream is an expression of unconscious or primordial images from the archetype. Thus, one could say that Jung's view of the unconscious is phylogenetic, while Freud's view is ontogenetic. For Freud, the unconscious consists of infantile experiences and repressions. Alfred Adler, 1870 to 1937. Alfred Adler was born in Vienna in 1980 and died in Aberdeen, Scotland in 1939 while on a lecture tour. Adler broke away from Freud in 1911. He disagreed with Freud over the role of sexuality in the causation of neurosis. He was also opposed to Freud's intra-psychic and biological orientations. Therefore, he proposed his own theory of personality. According to Adler, the prime mover of human action is a feeling of inferiority. Inferiority is a universal human field of experience. Although Adler restricted his inferiority to organ inferiority, he later generalized it to any form of human inferiority. Adler says that inferiority originates in childhood because the child is small and helpless. The result of the feeling of inferiority is that the individual feels the need to strive for superiority of power. This is the expression of what Adler called the will to power. The will to power then is the guiding force of human behavior. The struggle for power has been referred to as masculine protest because Adler believes that males are characterized by the striving for superiority, whereas females are characterized by passivity and inferiority. The Oedipal complex then is an expression of power relationships. It expresses the boy's need to subjugate his mother and be a successful competitor with his father. The will to power is guided and restrained by social interest. One way to elaborate and achieve social interest is by education. Summary of study session. In this study session, you have learned that 1. Jung's theory of personality centered on the collective unconscious made up of so many layers. Adler's theory, on the other hand, centered around the will to power, which is the guiding force of human behavior. 2. It is ironical that Jung had to split with Freud because Freud himself had said that Jung was going to be his own successor. Jung's points of disagreement with Freud form the cornerstone of his, that is, Jung's own theory. 3. There is a basic and general libido, which is a form of psychic energy. Sexual libido is only one variant of this libidinal energy. This energy comes into being during the pre-pubertal period. According to Jung, the unconscious mind has several layers. The uppermost layer or level is closest to the human mind. The deepest level is called the collective unconscious. This layer contains or is a storehouse of latent memory, traced, inherited from one's ancestral past. 5. A past that includes not only the racial history of humans as a separate species, but their pre-human or animal ancestry as well. 6. Alfred Adler was born in Vienna in 1870 and died in Aberdeen, Scotland in 1937 while on a lecture tour. Adler broke away from Freud in 1911. According to Adler, the prime mover of human actions is a feeling of inferiority. Inferiority is a universal human field of experience. This is the end of study session 14. Thank you.